Great to be here. We're here for the first conversation, which is themed Buy Africa or Buy Africa. And the idea, as you know, is you're doing business in Africa, in Nigeria, and there is often a contention between staying within the continent and also going outside. Now we have two great minds who have done both, who have done business in Africa and also expanded, talk to us about their experiences doing business in Africa and also expanding across Africa. Just a few stats before we get going. Of course, intra-Africa trade is growing year on year. 2023 was almost 200 billion. But then the fact is, many African countries, many African businesses, the trade within Africa is very little. Africa, or Nigeria, which is, you can argue Nigeria or South Africa, which is Africa's largest economy, does just 15% of its trade within Africa. So here we are here to unpack the lessons from doing this. I'll start with E. So, Chum is back. He's been back for a while. From your experience, the tariffs, the changes, how that affected African businesses, how that affected your businesses.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you for having me here. I always like to joke that Trump is my favorite president because I tend to make a lot of money when he's in power. The last time Trump was in power was actually when we started to take in outside capital. This was in the wake of COVID, and Trump basically made it possible for us through some policy for a lot of people to sort of shift back to investing at home, and we were able to take advantage of that. We raised 10 million in 2 years, and we were able to build a fantastic fund management business that we've now fully returned vintage-wise, but we're now trying to get investors back their money on an investment by investment basis. Now, the tariffs have created an even bigger opportunity for us. Because if you actually look at the tariffs, the countries to really care about, India, China versus Africa, broadly speaking. And the reality is because a lot of the tariffs were indexed against existing trade between our countries and America, we ended up with a lower tariff than those other countries. So China's tariff, every day the number is changing. So depends on which news report you want to go with. India's tariff is 28%, depending on who you talk to. Might be as high as 35%. Nigeria's tariff is 14%, right? So you can do the math and see who tariff economics is affecting. And then the other thing that's actually working really well is that, because of the tariffs and the volatility and the instability, people are actually outflowing dollars from the US and looking for higher yield regions to actually put